This is not merely a business tale. It is a profound human narrative. It speaks of a humble, hard-working boy from a small town who, lacking wealth and connections, possessed only a dream, a sturdy pickup truck, and an unyielding spirit. This is the authentic story of a man who ventured into overlooked towns and forged an empire greater than the titans of Wall Street. He wore no opulent suits, nor did he speak with the airs of a billionaire. He drove his own truck, personally visited every store, and engaged with customers as if they were cherished friends. This man ascended to become the wealthiest individual in America, not through deceit or mere fortune, but by grasping a fundamental truth. By helping people save money, you empower them to live better lives. This journey will redefine your perception of success, revealing how one man erected Walmart, the most colossal retail empire the world has ever witnessed, boasting over 10,000 stores, get more than 2 million dedicated employees, and catering to hundreds of millions of customers each week. More significantly, this account will also enhance your English proficiency, offering genuine vocabulary, compelling storytelling, and profound motivation, all presented in clear, powerful English. This is beyond a mere history lesson. It is your listening practice, your English fluency training, and your life motivation, all interwoven into one. So prepare your mind, pay close attention, for you are about to immerse yourself in one of the most emotional, impactful, and unforgettable success stories ever narrated. This is not just the story of Walmart. It is the saga of Sam Walton, the man who transformed the world with a smile, a strategic vision, and a reliable pickup truck. Let us begin. Part 1. The small town boy who unwittingly built an empire before Walmart, before billions in wealth. Before his name resonated globally, there was simply a boy named Samuel Moore Walton. He was born on March 29, 1918, in Kingfisher, Oklahoma, a place so modest it barely registered on most maps. His parents were not affluent. In fact, his family endured significant hardship during the Great Depression, a time when millions of Americans lost their livelihoods, homes, and savings. His father, Thomas Walton, worked as a farm loan appraiser, a profession that necessitated constant relocation. His mother, Nancy Lee, was a worn, resolute woman who deeply valued education and diligent effort. Sam had one younger brother, James Bud Walton. Together, the two boys matured in a world where certainty was a luxury. They lacked extravagances, but they possessed an abundance of character, forged through performing chores, selling milk from the family cow, and rising before dawn to assist. As a child, Sam abhorred idleness. He delivered newspapers before school, milked cows before sunrise, joined the Boy Scouts, and achieved the distinction of being the youngest Eagle Scout in his state. From his earliest days, he aspired to more than mere survival. He yearned to triumph, not for glory, but for a profound purpose. Sam Walton was not a genius. He was not born into wealth or power, yet he was endowed with two extraordinary gifts: an insatiable hunger for knowledge and a deep affection for people. In high school, he excelled in football, basketball, and baseball, not because he was the most gifted, but because he never capitulated. He was the individual who would linger late, practice longer, and consistently commit 110%. Even in the face of failure, he persevered. Following high school, he could not afford an elite college, but his determination was unwavering. He secured a loan and attended the University of Missouri, pursuing economics. He undertook various odd jobs to cover his tuition, waiting tables, cleaning, and managing his time with military like precision. At 22 years old, he graduated. However, the world was engulfed in conflict. World War II had commenced, and like countless young men, Sam enlisted in the Army Intelligence Corps, serving with distinction. It was during this period, not within the confines of a business, school, or an office, but amidst the crucible of war, that Sam assimilated his most potent lesson: details matter, people matter. One must think like a soldier, yet serve like a human being. Upon the war's conclusion, Sam married Helen Robson, an intelligent, self-assured, no-nonsense woman from a prosperous Oklahoma family. Helen was far more than a mere housewife. She was the indispensable bedrock of Sam's aspirations. She challenged him, supported him, and articulated one unequivocal declaration: "We will not squander our lives. We will construct something monumental or perish in the attempt." With $5,000 from his personal savings and a $20,000 loan from his father-in-law, Sam acquired a small Ben Franklin variety store in Newport, Arkansas. He was merely 26 years old, devoid of prior business experience or significant investors, possessing only an ambition to serve customers with unparalleled excellence. He toiled relentlessly, from opening to closing, scrutinizing every price tag, conversing with every customer, personally cleaning the floors, and meticulously studying the competition like a seasoned detective. Sam's desire extended beyond merely selling merchandise. He yearned to comprehend people. He would drive for hours to inspect rival establishments, meticulously documenting everything: store layout, pricing strategies, customer behavior. He harbored no reservations about learning from others, even his direct competitors. While most store proprietors inflated prices to maximize profits, Sam adopted the inverse approach. He reduced prices to cultivate customer trust. People deemed him irrational. "Why are you eroding your own profit margins?" they inquired. But Sam possessed an insight they lacked. If you offer people an exceptional deal, they will return, and they will bring their acquaintances. This was the genesis of a revolution. Just as his venture flourished, and Sam's store gained immense popularity, generating more revenue than any other in town, a formidable obstacle emerged. He did not own the premises. He had merely signed a 5-year lease. Upon the expiration of those 5 years, the landlord unequivocally refused to renew the lease, seizing the store from Sam. The motivation: the landlord recognized the immense profitability of Sam's innovative concepts and desired to bequeath the thriving business to his own son. Sam lost everything: the prime location, the established brand, the loyal customer base, all his arduous efforts seemingly eradicated. He could have succumbed to despair, complained bitterly, or simply abandoned his ambitions. But he did not. He drew a deep breath, gathered his life, and relocated to a modest town named Bentonville, Arkansas. There, with an ardent spirit and nothing but his intellect and his wife's unwavering support, he inaugurated a new store. That establishment would eventually evolve into the inaugural Walmart. The year was 1950. Bentonville was not a haven for billionaires. It was not a sprawling metropolis teeming with major investors. It was a tranquil, unassuming town featuring one main street, a handful of farmers, a few teachers, and a multitude of quiet aspirations. Yet, for Sam Walton, Bentonville represented the pristine canvas he desperately required. He leased a small edifice and unveiled a store christened Walton's 5 and 10. It was not ostentatious. There was no colossal signboard, no elaborate grand opening. Only Sam, his wife, and a store brimming with an assortment of small products, socks, school supplies, cleaning requisites, candy and toys. Nevertheless, one distinctive element set this store apart. Not its location, nor its prices, nor even its modest size. It was Sam's profound obsession with people. From its inception, Sam envisioned a systematic approach. He might not have labeled it a system at the time, but it irrevocably became the cornerstone of Walmart's monumental success. Let us dissect its core tenets. Firstly, serve the customer as if they were family. He transcended a mere greeting. He would personally escort customers to the desired shelf, carry their purchases, solicit their feedback regarding dissatisfactions, and promptly address them. He firmly believed that the customer is not merely the rationale for our triumph. The customer embodies our very success. Secondly, acquire cheaply, sell even cheaper, and compensate through sheer volume. This philosophy was revolutionary. Most retailers aimed for substantial profit margins on individual items. Sam, conversely, sought minimal profit on an immense quantity of items. Instead of selling 100 shirts with a $5 profit each, he would sell 10,000 shirts with a 50-cent profit per item. He once articulated, if we reduce prices by 1 cent and sell 1 million units, that translates to $10,000 saved by our customers. They will never forget that. Thirdly, never cease learning from others. Sam would diligently visit other stores every weekend. He would fill notebooks with ideas, store designs, and product placements. He never projected an air of omniscience. He contended that ethically adopting ideas and subsequently enhancing them was not a sign of weakness, but rather an act of wisdom. Herein lay the profound distinction between Sam and every other businessman. Even after launching multiple stores, Sam would traverse 100 to 200 miles on weekends to visit competing establishments. He would enter as an ordinary shopper, meticulously observing the aisles, the pricing structures, the nuances of customer service. He would meticulously handwrite notes, sometimes 10 pages a day, then return and instantaneously implement those insights. He did not confine himself to an office. He existed on the ground within his stores amidst genuine people. He termed this retail education, acquired not in a university, but in the crucible of real life. By the late 1950s, Sam operated several small stores, all performing commendably. Yet, a particular realization troubled him. He observed that most rural towns across America were largely neglected by major retailers. Large chains exclusively targeted metropolitan areas. Small towns grappled with inflated prices, limited selection, and inadequate service. Sam discerned both the void and the immense opportunity. He pondered, what if we construct a large store in a small town, offering exceptionally low prices, vast variety, and exemplary service? Wouldn't people journey for miles to patronize it? It was an audacious concept. Investors scoffed. Prominent businessmen dismissed it, declaring, that will never succeed. Rural populations do not purchase in large quantities. But Sam remained impervious to such skepticism. He had witnessed enough. He knew that rural America yearned for value, and no one was adequately catering to their needs. He summoned his courage, persuaded his wife, secured additional funding, and in 1962, Sam Walton unveiled the inaugural Walmart Discount City in Rogers, Arkansas. The store encompassed 15,000 square feet, a considerable size for its era, though dwarfed by contemporary standards. It featured no automatic doors, no digital displays, no grand promotional campaigns, merely shelves laden with discounted merchandise ranging from apparel to electronics to groceries. Everything was priced more affordably than competitors. People were intrigued. Some derided it. Some predicted its inevitable failure. Yet, upon stepping inside, they witnessed the prices, the sheer variety, the inherent honesty of the establishment, and they returned. Not just once, but every single week, accompanied by their families, their neighbors, their entire communities. Sales began to surge. Word of mouth propagated explosively. Customers transcended the role of mere patrons. They became fervent advocates. Sam did not construct Walmart in solitude. His wife, Helen, was an integral participant in every pivotal decision. His brother, Bud Walton, joined the enterprise, and soon his children began contributing their efforts. This was not a corporate monolith erected by executives in suits and glass towers. It was a family business founded upon trust, diligent exertion, and fundamental simplicity. Sam championed employee ownership. He granted his store managers partial ownership stakes. If they contributed to the store's growth, they reaped greater financial rewards. This fostered a mentality where everyone thought and acted like owners, not merely employees. By the close of the 1960s, Walmart had burgeoned to 18 stores. This represented not merely rapid expansion, but explosive growth. More paramount than the sheer number of stores, however, was their operational ethos. Each store rigorously adhered to Sam's foundational principles: prices lower than any other establishment in town, amiable staff who genuinely cared, immaculate aisles, and meticulously organized shelves. Managers meticulously trained as leaders, and a pervasive sense of community. Patrons did not feel like mere customers, they felt like family. Sam meticulously ensured that every new store was situated within driving distance of his residence, enabling him to personally visit, inspect, and refine their operations. He was not merely constructing a business, he was igniting a movement. While others pursued lavish offices and magazine features, Sam Walton steadfastly prioritized three tenets. Firstly, drive a used truck, not a luxury automobile, to convey to his employees that he remained one of them. Secondly, concentrate on conserving pennies, not indiscriminately spending dollars. He would travel in economy class, share hotel accommodations, and reuse office supplies. Thirdly, perpetually maintain the humility of a beginner in learning, he diligently read reports, visited stores, and engaged with the janitor with the same respect accorded to a vice president. He frequently declared, "The moment you believe you are too significant to learn is the precise moment you commence diminishing." Part 2. Walmart becomes unstoppable, the systems that changed everything. By the early 1970s, Walmart had transcended being a mere clever concept. It was no longer simply one man's personal aspiration. It had evolved into a burgeoning engine of value, a quiet insurrection against exorbitant pricing, subpar service, and antiquated retail practices. And this engine was becoming progressively more astute, swifter, and more formidable for every competitor. Walmart had already expanded to 18 stores, yet Sam Walton remained unsatisfied. He did not awaken each day contemplating, "How many stores can we inaugurate?" Instead, he posed a more profound question. How can we establish stores more rapidly, more effectively, and more intelligently than anyone else in history? He was no longer thinking as a mere shopkeeper. He was envisioning himself as the architect of a nationwide revolution. Most entrepreneurs cultivate one store, then two, then perhaps 10. Sam Walton cultivated one store, then embarked upon constructing comprehensive systems. He grasped a truth that eluded others to achieve rapid growth. One cannot simply replicate stores. One must engineer the machinery that produces stores. Consequently, while the world fixated on ostentatious branding and expansion, Sam meticulously focused on logistics, distribution, and information systems. For if one aspires to serve millions, one must master the swift procurement of goods, the maintenance of low prices, and the precise understanding of customer desires. This ethos engendered a novel kind of enterprise, not merely a retailer, but a retail engine. In 1970, Walmart made a decision that astonished other businesses. Instead of relying on third-party distributors, as most retailers did, Sam Walton resolved to establish his own supply chain. This entailed Walmart-owned trucks, Walmart-owned warehouses, Walmart-employed drivers, and complete Walmart control. Why? Because external companies did not share Walmart's core mission. They delivered slowly, charged excessively, and were unresponsive. Thus, Sam declared, "If we wish to regulate our prices, we must first regulate our products." In 1971, Walmart erected its inaugural distribution center in Bentonville, Arkansas. This center was not merely a storage facility, it was a command hub where products from across the nation were received, meticulously sorted, and dispatched directly to stores with military-grade efficiency. Every product entered, every product exited. There were no delays, no intermediaries. And because it was wholly owned by Walmart, costs were minimized, speed was maximized, and accuracy approached perfection. Over time, Walmart constructed an increasing number of these hubs, forming a potent, intricate network of warehouses and roadways connecting small towns to substantial savings in record time. No entity had ever accomplished this on such a scale for discount retail. Most individuals are unaware, but Walmart was among the pioneering retail corporations in America to utilize satellite communication in the late 1970s, a period when even major banks had not yet adopted computers for real-time data. Walmart installed satellite dishes atop the roofs of its stores and warehouses. These satellites interconnected every store with Walmart's central headquarters. What was the implication of this? It signified that every time a product was sold in a store in Texas, the head office in Arkansas received immediate notification and could replenish inventory or adjust prices in real time. This placed Walmart decades ahead of its competitors. It transformed Walmart from a mere chain of stores into a vibrant, interconnected network, granting Sam unparalleled power to control costs, supply, and pricing. Retail is detail, he asserted, and we will be cognizant of every detail every single hour. By 1972, Walmart operated approximately 50 stores. It was then that Sam Walton executed another audacious maneuver. He took Walmart public, meaning he offered shares of the company on the stock market. Why? Not to amass personal wealth or to retire, but to generate capital for accelerated expansion. This initiative garnered millions of dollars, which Sam strategically deployed to construct additional warehouses, acquire more land for prospective stores, enhance technology, recruit superior managers, and provide enhanced employee training. The company's stock price consistently appreciated. Yet, Sam did not indulge in luxury automobiles or opulent timepieces. He continued to drive his well-worn Ford pickup. He consumed breakfast at inexpensive diners. And he wore the same unpretentious attire because Walmart's financial resources were dedicated to its mission. Another innovation manifested in the late 1970s and early 1980s. Sam observed that people disliked the necessity of driving from a grocery store to a pharmacy, then to a clothing shop, and finally to a hardware store. He conceived of a solution. What if we consolidate everything under a single roof? Not merely apparel, not merely electronics, but food, a pharmacy, garden implements, toys, everything. This vision materialized with the launch of Walmart Supercenters. These were colossal stores where a mother could refuel her vehicle, purchase diapers for her infant, acquire fresh produce, select a birthday gift, collect her medication, buy clothing for her children, and return home before dinner. This became Walmart's quintessential style, low prices combined with maximum convenience. And it proliferated with astonishing speed. People ceased patronizing 5 different stores. They simply gravitated to Walmart. Sam Walton comprehended a fundamental truth: contented employees cultivate contented customers. However, instead of labeling them employees, he referred to them as associates, and he treated them as co-owners. He instituted an employee stock purchase program, enabling even the janitor to acquire shares in Walmart. He would visit stores unannounced, engage in conversations with cashiers, inquire about their families, and attentively listen. He firmly believed that innovative ideas did not originate in corporate boardrooms. They emerged from the shelf stocker who discerned missing items, the cashier who heard customer grievances, and the store manager who observed people daily. This fostered a bottom-up culture where every individual felt a personal stake in the company's success. By the mid-1980s, Walmart had burgeoned to hundreds of stores, generating billions in revenue and employing thousands of individuals. Sam Walton was lauded as Retailer of the Year, recognized as one of America's wealthiest men, and celebrated as a global business icon. Nevertheless, he steadfastly eschewed luxury. He continued to reside in the same modest dwelling in Bentonville. He still wore a baseball cap and waited in checkout lines. And above all, he maintained his unwavering conviction in prioritizing service to people. By the mid-1980s, Walmart had become an undeniable force. Sam Walton's humble aspiration had transformed into a retail tempest sweeping across small towns, disrupting established systems and fundamentally rewriting every rule of commerce. Yet, with immense scale comes substantial opposition, and with great power comes the inevitable target. Walmart's annual sales had surpassed $8.4 billion by 1984. That represented $400 million per year, an astonishing leap from a solitary 5 and dime store in Bentonville to over 800 stores spanning multiple states. Nevertheless, even as the figures soared, the pressures intensified. Success generates admirers, but it also cultivates adversaries. And Walmart was now under scrutiny, not solely by its customers, but by the media, labor unions, small business proprietors, city planners, academics, and even politicians. Allegations surfaced. Walmart is decimating small businesses. Walmart wields excessive power. Walmart pays meager wages. Walmart is destroying Main Street. While some of these criticisms held a modicum of truth, many were overly simplistic, largely because most people failed to grasp Sam Walton's genuine objectives. He harbored no desire to destroy anything. He merely sought to serve a greater number of people with superior pricing. Yet, he understood a crucial principle: rapid growth invariably invites misunderstanding. Consequently, instead of defending himself through elaborate interviews, he persisted in his customary best practices: visiting stores, engaging with associates, traversing aisles, shaking hands, and diligently taking notes. Herein lay Walmart's distinction from arrogant corporations. They did not counter criticism with public relations campaigns. They meticulously studied it. For instance, when accusations arose that Walmart harmed small businesses, Sam's team diligently collected authentic customer feedback from hundreds of towns, demonstrating that in most regions, people saved over 20 to 30% annually by shopping at Walmart. When the company was criticized for low wages, it expanded its stock sharing program, transforming thousands of employees into genuine owners. By the close of the 1980s, more than 120,000 employees owned Walmart stock, and many became millionaires simply through diligent work and faith in the company. That was Sam's understated response. Do not confront critics with words. Let the work speak for itself. While critics debated Walmart built, let us comprehend how Walmart achieved such rapid scaling and why its competitors failed to impede its progress. Sam implemented a cluster strategy. Instead of haphazardly opening stores across America, he expanded in concentric circles around existing locations. Why? This approach significantly reduced fuel expenses, shortened delivery times, lowered management costs, and simultaneously enhanced efficiency, regional brand recognition, and loyalty from neighboring communities. In 1985, an extraordinary event transpired. Forbes magazine released its annual compilation of America's wealthiest individuals. And occupying the pinnacle was neither a Hollywood celebrity, nor a Wall Street financier, nor a tech mogul. It was Sam Walton, the unassuming man from Bentonville, who still partook of breakfast at the local diner. His net worth was estimated at $2.8 billion in 1985, which, adjusted for inflation, equates to over $8 billion today. By the early 1990s, his fortune had swelled to more than $25 billion. Yet, what truly astounded the world was his unwavering refusal to relocate to a mansion, to adorn himself with gold watches, or to engage bodyguards. He continued to reside in the same modest home, walked unaccompanied into his stores, and perpetually posed the same fundamental inquiries. What are the customers saying? How can we make it more affordable? What is not functioning effectively? People labeled him eccentric, but Sam termed it discipline. In 1991, Walmart executed another bold strategic move. It resolved to expand internationally, commencing with Mexico. Many observers deemed this an ill-conceived notion. Retail, they argued, is inherently local, cultures diverge, and supply chains are intrinsically complex. Nevertheless, Walmart meticulously analyzed the market, adapted its operational models, and forged partnerships with local businesses. By 1992, Walmart de Mexico was launched, destined to become one of Latin America's largest retail operations. Over the ensuing decade, Walmart would extend its presence to Canada, China, Chile, Brazil, Argentina, India, and the United Kingdom. This expansion was not achieved by imposing American systems universally, but by attentively listening, judiciously adjusting, and respectfully accommodating local exigencies. The overarching objective remained constant, consistently low prices everywhere, every day. In 1992, Sam Walton accomplished something he had never envisioned. He authored a book. Not for renown, nor for financial gain. He wrote it because he felt an imperative to articulate his core values before time ran out. The book, titled Made in America, My Story, was devoid of abstract business theories or superficial leadership platitudes. It was replete with authentic anecdotes, accounts of failures, early strategic decisions, and his raw, unvarnished philosophy. Never succumb to arrogance, perpetually think from the customer's perspective, honor your people, maintain stringent cost controls, and always remain receptive to learning. The book rapidly became a bestseller, not solely due to the compelling narrative, but owing to the profound truths underpinning its success. In 1990, while Walmart reigned supreme in the retail sphere, Sam Walton received devastating news. He was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, a form of bone cancer. Yet, Sam did not immediately disclose his condition to the world. He did not cease working. He did not vanish from public view. He steadfastly continued visiting stores, meticulously crafting his book, and diligently training his personnel. He once remarked, "I do not know how much time I have, but I know what I am here to accomplish, and I am not finished yet." Even while enduring physical pain, he traversed America to meet with associates. He harbored no desire to be remembered as a man who surrendered. He wished to be recalled as a man who gave his absolute all. In March 1992, merely 1 month prior to his passing, Sam Walton was bestowed with America's preeminent civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, presented by President George H.W. Bush. At the solemn ceremony, he appeared frail, seated in a wheelchair, yet his words resonated with unwavering strength. He clutched the award in his trembling hands and declared, "If we collaborate, we will provide the world an opportunity to live better every single day." And with those resonant words, America rose and applauded, not for a wealthy man, nor for a businessman, but for a simple store owner who never ceased his service. Part 3. After Sam Walton, a giant that refused to fall, he clutched that medal with trembling hands, his voice weak, yet his spirit remained indomitable. The man who had originated from nothing was now being honored by the President of the United States. But beneath the applause and the glare of the spotlight, Sam Walton was in profound pain. He was battling cancer, and the struggle was reaching its ultimate stage. Just a few weeks subsequently, on April 5, 1992, at the age of 74, Sam Walton passed away in Little Rock, Arkansas. The man who had spearheaded a retail revolution, who had constructed an empire founded on savings, who had perpetually served, was gone. The news sent shockwaves across the nation. On the day of Sam Walton's demise, stores throughout America observed a moment of silence. Flags were lowered. Employees wept. Customers left heartfelt notes at Walmart entrances. Individuals who had never personally encountered him, from the smallest towns to the largest cities, voiced a consistent sentiment. He transformed our way of life, our shopping habits, and our belief in what is achievable. Crucially, what transpired next was even more significant. Walmart did not falter. It did not decelerate. It did not succumb to confusion or lose its direction. Why? Because Sam Walton had meticulously engineered a robust system, not a personality cult. Throughout his entire life, he had meticulously groomed leaders, established efficient processes, and cultivated a pervasive culture of simplicity, service, and savings. He did not desire Walmart to be dependent on his individual presence. He aspirated for it to outlive him, and it did. Following Sam's passing, leadership did not descend into disarray. The succession plan was already firmly established. His son, Rob Walton, assumed the role of chairman of the board. However, Rob did not endeavor to emulate Sam. He respected the ingrained culture, honored the established systems, and preserved the core mission intact. Executives had already been rigorously trained under Sam's guiding principles: maintain low prices, expand judiciously, respect the associates, utilize data over ego, and remain humble regardless of scale. Rob grasped one undeniable truth: one does not replace Sam Walton. One safeguards what he painstakingly constructed. Walmart's leadership team diligently focused on precisely that objective. In 1992, the year of Sam Walton's death, Walmart's annual revenue had already exceeded $43 billion. This meant Walmart stores collectively sold $43 billion worth of products in a mere single year. Yet that was merely the genesis. Over the subsequent 8 years, Walmart's revenue more than doubled, reaching $67 billion by 1995, all $100 billion by 1999, and surpassing $150 billion by 2002. To provide perspective, Walmart was generating more sales in a single year than the entire gross domestic product, the total income of some smaller nations. It had ascended to become the preeminent retailer globally. This monumental achievement was not born of magic. Walmart's fundamental strategy remained unwavering, but its operational tools became increasingly sophisticated. Walmart invested substantially in advanced technology. Here is how it operated every instance a customer scanned a product at checkout. That crucial information was instantaneously transmitted directly to Walmart's central headquarters. Computers meticulously tracked inventory levels, sales trends, and delivery timelines. If a shelf of diapers in Ohio approached depletion, the system would automatically trigger a replenishment order from the nearest distribution center. This system evolved to such an advanced degree that Walmart's supply chain was universally acclaimed as the most sophisticated in the world. Even the United States military diligently studied Walmart's logistics to glean insights into expediting supply movements. This transcended mere retail. It was intelligence operating at the speed of the customer. Yet Walmart had mastered the ability to forecast demand before it manifested, to restock more rapidly than competitors, and to reduce costs at a pace exceeding inflation. And this culminated in one singular outcome: prices continued their downward trajectory, savings consistently escalated, and customers wholeheartedly embraced it. After Sam's demise, Walmart's expansion was not confined to the United States. It embarked on a rapid and intelligent global outreach. Let us examine a few pivotal expansions. Firstly, Mexico. Walmart de Mexico emerged as the largest retailer in the country, boasting over 500 stores by the 2000s. Secondly, Canada. In 1994, Walmart entered the Canadian market by acquiring 122 Woolco stores. In less than 2 years, it established itself as a dominant market leader. Thirdly, the United Kingdom. In 1999, Walmart acquired Asda, one of the UK's largest supermarket chains, instantly becoming a top-tier competitor. Fourthly, China, Brazil, Argentina, Chile, India. Walmart penetrated each of these markets, employing a distinct strategy. Sometimes by constructing new stores, at other times by acquiring existing chains, and occasionally by forging partnerships with local enterprises. The overarching objective was not to Americanize the world, but to integrate Walmart's core strengths into indigenous systems. This entailed utilizing local suppliers, local workforces, and accommodating local preferences, all while upholding Walmart's renowned efficiency and pricing advantages. Even subsequent to Sam's passing, Walmart steadfastly adhered to one core conviction: the customer is sovereign. In practical terms, this implied several critical practices. Walmart diligently tracked which items garnered the most popularity in each city. Store managers were empowered to adapt store layouts based on local shopping habits. Prices were adjusted daily to match or surpass local competitors' offerings. If a customer lodged a complaint, their feedback was directly escalated to the highest echelons of management. Walmart was not merely a colossal corporation, it was an agile enterprise capable of swift action, rapid adaptation, and seamless integration into nascent markets. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, a new form of competition materialized, not from rival brick and mortar establishments, but from the burgeoning internet. Companies such as Amazon, eBay, and Target Com offered online shopping, expedited delivery, and even more competitive pricing. Walmart could have chosen to disregard this emerging threat, but instead it strategically adapted. It launched Walmart.com in 2000, subsequently establishing a comprehensive e-commerce team. It innovated online pickup systems, enabling customers to purchase products digitally and collect them in store. It forged partnerships with technology firms to develop advanced warehouse automation. Walmart recognized that the future was inherently digital, yet customers still craved the fundamental Walmart promise: consistently low prices regardless of the shopping modality. Even as the company's global workforce surpassed 1 million employees, its foundational culture remained vibrant. Executives were still mandated to visit stores, engage in dialogue with associates, observe the checkout processes, and intimately comprehend the customer experience. Get Walmart continued its tradition of morning meetings where employees clapped, performed stretches, and celebrated achievements. This was not merely for recreation. It served to maintain an energized, unified, and motivated workforce. Sam Walton's enduring legacy was not inscribed on walls. It permeated actions, reiterated each morning in every store. Not every endeavor was flawless. Get Walmart encountered setbacks in Germany, where its corporate culture proved incompatible with local shopping customs. It struggled in South Korea and ultimately had to withdraw from that market. It faced legal challenges, employee strikes, and environmental criticisms. However, unlike arrogant corporations, Walmart listened. It meticulously analyzed its missteps. It made adjustments. It altered its trajectory. Walmart did not feign perfection. It learned rapidly, acted even faster, and perpetually propelled itself forward. Part 4. The Final Legacy. A store that became a symbol, Walmart had ascended to become the most formidable retailer the world had ever witnessed. By the early 2000s, it was generating over $400 billion in annual sales, a figure once deemed utterly inconceivable. Yet, Walmart was far from finished. It steadfastly continued its trajectory of growth, adaptation, and expansion. Not solely in terms of magnitude, but in the very essence of its mission. From its earliest days, Sam Walton had articulated one unequivocal principle: the true purpose of our existence is to empower people to live better lives. Now, with Sam gone and the company surpassing the economic scale of most national governments, the pressing question arose: would Walmart remain faithful to that foundational promise, or would it, like other giants, ultimately forget its humble origins? The answer proved to be complex. In 2018, Walmart achieved an unprecedented feat. It surpassed $500 billion in sales within a single year. That is 500,000 in just 12 months. No other retailer, no technology company, no brand had ever sold so much in such a condensed time frame. Walmart secured the top position on the Fortune Global 500 list, becoming the largest private employer globally with over 2.3 million associates. It was a brand operating in more than 25 countries, serving hundreds of millions of people each week. However, with this unparalleled success came a fresh array of questions, novel challenges, and intensified scrutiny. As Walmart expanded, so too did its societal responsibilities. People began to question, Why are Walmart wages so low? Why are some employees compelled to rely on government assistance? Why do some full-time Walmart employees still struggle to subsist? Protests erupted. Documentaries were produced. Activists stood outside stores displaying placards. Critics declared, Walmart is saving customers money, but it is costing workers their dignity. These were not merely baseless attacks. These were legitimate concerns voiced by real individuals who had dedicated years to the company. And for a period, Walmart was sluggish in its response. The company was growing with such velocity, constructing stores so rapidly, and adapting to so many diverse countries, that it inadvertently neglected to introspect. But then a pivotal transformation occurred. In the 2010s, Walmart recognized a fundamental truth. If we aspire to lead the world in business, we must also lead the world in human values. Consequently, it initiated significant reforms. Wage increases. Walmart announced minimum wage increases across the United States, elevating base pay above national standards, particularly in regions with higher living costs. While not perfect, it represented a tangible step forward. Education benefits. Walmart forged partnerships with colleges and launched programs designed to assist employees in earning degrees while simultaneously working. They covered the majority of tuition fees, offered flexible hours, and actively encouraged workers to ascend from cashier to college graduate. Sustainability commitments. Walmart embarked on an ambitious journey towards becoming a more environmentally conscientious company, reducing plastic packaging, investing in clean energy, establishing long-term objectives to curtail carbon emissions, and collaborating with farmers to enhance agricultural practices. Walmart had transcended merely offering low prices. It was now striving to offer a brighter future. By the mid-2000s, Walmart confronted its most formidable adversary, yet Amazon. The online behemoth was decisively outperforming Walmart in areas such as home delivery, digital convenience, and overall e-commerce dominance. Walmart's vast network of physical stores remained robust, but an increasing number of consumers were shifting their shopping habits to their mobile phones. Walmart faced a binary choice: either play it safe and safeguard its existing empire, get or undertake a calculated risk and metamorphose into a new paradigm of company. It unequivocally chose transformation. Walmart invested billions of dollars into acquiring Jet.com, an e-commerce company, to directly compete with Amazon. It launched Walmart Plus, a subscription service akin to Amazon Prime. It meticulously developed online grocery delivery systems, upgraded all in-store technology to create smart stores, and rigorously trained thousands of its workforce in digital tools, artificial intelligence, logistics, and robotics. Walmart was no longer exclusively a physical retailer. It was evolving into a technology-driven service company, yet steadfastly retaining its core commitment to low prices and human-centric service. In the 2020s, Walmart once again surprised the world, this time by venturing into healthcare. The company commenced opening Walmart health clinics within its stores, providing affordable doctor visits, dental care, and mental health counseling. It forged partnerships with health insurance providers and actively explored avenues to furnish millions of families with affordable prescription medications. Why? Because Sam Walton had articulated decades earlier, we are not in the retail business. We are in the people business, and healthcare represented the subsequent frontier in assisting people to live better lives. When the COVID-19 pandemic paralyzed the world in 2020, everything ground to a halt. Stores shuttered, supply chains fractured, and fear proliferated. Yet, Walmart was compelled to continue operations because it supplied food, medicine, and household essentials. It was designated an essential service and remained open while countless others closed their doors. The magnitude of the challenge was immense. Safeguard workers from infection, maintain fully stocked stores amidst supply chain disruptions, manage irate, frightened, and bewildered customers, and oversee operations across 25 countries, each with disparate regulations. However, Walmart responded with alacrity. It installed transparent plastic barriers for cashiers, distributed masks and safety kits, provided bonuses to its employees, augmented online services and delivery options, and established vaccination centers within its stores. It was not without imperfections, but it unequivocally demonstrated one crucial truth. When the world succumbed to panic, Walmart steadfastly continued to serve. Sam Walton did not merely construct stores. He did not merely generate employment opportunities. He did not merely reduce prices. He forged a belief system, a philosophy of existence that advocated, remain humble, even if you attain immense power. Prioritize people, even as profits swell. Act like an owner, even if you are just commencing. Never cease learning, even when you succeed. He believed implicitly in everyday individuals. Not celebrities, not CEOs, not billionaires, but the worker, the mother, the farmer, the truck driver, the high school student. And he unequivocally validated one simple truth. You do not need to be born into affluence to transform the world. You simply require a truck, a well-conceived plan, and a purpose that genuinely matters. Today, Walmart commands a valuation of hundreds of billions of dollars, employs millions of individuals, and caters to entire nations. Yet, somewhere in Bentonville, Arkansas, the original Walton's 5 and 10 store still proudly stands. Visitors arrive daily. They meander through the diminutive aisles. They observe Sam's handwritten notes, his iconic pickup truck, a photograph of his beloved dog, his antiquated desk, and they grasp the profound realization it all originated here. No money, no power, no fame, just an earnest aspiration to enhance life for others. This is not merely the chronicle of a company, it is a human odyssey. It illuminates the boundless extent one can achieve by never surrendering. It is about pursuing endeavors the arduous way, the honorable way. It is about constructing something so profoundly authentic that even after your passing, it persistently empowers people to live better lives. And that, unequivocally, is the authentic triumph of Sam Walton. Not the stores, not the astronomical figures, not the immense wealth, but the enduring truth that one can emerge from absolute destitution and still contribute absolutely everything. Subscribe now, for the next narrative might just transform your life once more. And I will be here to impart it to you, word by word, step by step, like an unwavering friend. Let us persist.